What's good? What's good? What's good? And welcome to another episode of Bimp on the Spot. Of course, I'm your host, TAZ, as always, reminding you to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Y'all know we always get it. Usually on a Thursday. I told y'all last week we here every week on a Thursday at 7:30. We had to switch it up this week because we got a special guest. And I'm telling you guys, I'm excited. This episode is about to be crazy. But first and foremost, I want to make sure that I reminded you all. Last season, to finish out the season, we had a legend on the show. Just like we had a legend on the show last week in Tori Nelson, we had a legend on the show at the end of last season, at the end of season 7, FELTON PILATE of Confunction, a living legend. When I tell you that was one of the best interviews I've ever done. He's a doctor. He's the best he was one of the best in the business at his time. He's still one of the best of the business in this time. We have the full interview. We're going to make sure that you guys get back to that. But tonight, as for tonight, guys, I told you guys we have a special event live in studio. We have my brother, ZELUZ. He's going to be on the show tonight. Y'all know it's about to go crazy. The last time that we interviewed, I think that was like two seasons ago. Last time he was on the show, it was crazy. This time on the show, we always make it better. Last week, we had a first. We had a living legend on the show. This week, we have our first live in-studio guest on the spot with TAZ. So without any further ado, make sure you go back and you check out the episode with FELTON PILATE. We have a short clip on it, but without any further ado, let's get it. Guys, Dr. FELTON PILATE, he's on the show with us tonight. So without any further ado, let's get it. Now that we're talking about bringing the past forward and bringing what's now, because we're starting to see a change in music again, right? And it's because of two people that we saw in your intro, Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars, right?
Yes. Yes.
This was a marriage, right? A musical marriage that we never knew that we needed until it happened, right? You have Anderson .Paak, one of the funkiest people, and so old school, and you had Bruno, who's retro, and they come together and they start bringing back some of the old sound from the past and absolutely destroyed all of the new market, right? All of what music was crumbled when Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak came together, and they did something a little while ago with Confunction, bringing back your song Love Train. What was that like for you to see two of music's icons today be able to pull your music back from the past and make it as relevant now as it was back then?
I have to go back to a year before, right? Their song "Leave the Door Open." I remember when I first heard that song. Mm-hmm. I was like, you know what? At its heart, that song is basically an old school song with a new. I'm sorry, I can't think. With a new, I'll call it spunk.
Yeah.
With the lyrics, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you just take the melody and the chord progression and the arrangements, that's an old school song. It really is, right? To wake up on Valentine's Day last year and hear that they've covered Love Train, a song that is 40 years old, and then I would say at 90% of it, they just copied our arrangement, right? I'm not complaining at all. But that statement that they made to the music industry on that day is, hey folks, don't ignore this. You know, music from 40 years ago is still relevant. you may not realize it. You may not be aware of it, but that's still good, relevant music. It's music that if we just need to remind you, you like this stuff.
Exactly.
You've liked it all the time, and you've just forgotten it. So Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, Silk Sonic brought that to our collectively brought that to our attention, and I thank them so much for doing that. That's of course changed my life around for the last year. I think they did a magnificent.
I got a question, why you tryna block my blessings? Y'all can have this world, my treasure in the heavens. I never lost on my L's, thanks for lessons. Get out my way, cause I'm a walking lethal weapon, yeah. All of my people ready for war, you didn't be scared, nah. All of my enemies don't want to static, I'm telling you stand down. Remember the days you thought it was nothing but look at the man now. You see how the tables turn, them king, it's time to bow down. Many done wrong, demons seem to follow me, bringing negative energy, my soul is what they want from me. Go ahead, keep trying me, so there's the last thing you would say. I'm telling you, let me be, cause we the ones you would hate to me. There's no bullying me, if you play with fire, you gon' feel this hate. There was nights I was hungry, found myself in my front to bed. I'm blessed to make it up off the street, and them days we did. Living about it, homie, dying, became a normal thing. I got a question, why you tryna block my blessings? Got the head is for my treasure in the heavens. I never lost on my L's, it's a lesson. Get on my way, cause I'm a walking
Whoa. Who this? Who this? Live in studio, my brother. For sure. This is our first live interview. Who better than with my brother Zell? Man, I'm excited. This is about to go crazy. We've been waiting for this. It's been long anticipated. Yeah. It's been years in the making. Yeah. We're finally here. Man, I know you excited. We'll just vibe into the intro. You know my producer do it every time, every single time. Y'all know what it is. Drop a like on the video if that intro did not go. If that intro went crazy, y'all know it went crazy. So make sure you drop that like. I'm telling you, he did his thing on that. We'll bopping to it.
And the reason why I can't stop smiling, bro, like it's finally happening, man. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like after all these years to really like talking, people don't even know. Like behind the scenes, we've been texting and we've been saying we spoke it to existence. Mm-hmm. That's what it's about, man.
Yeah. Man, it's been a long time. We like, bro, we need to get together. And at the end of the day, it's all in the Most High's time. Mm-hmm. Everything happened when it's supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. And it just so happened, he reached out to me. I'm supposed to be in California. I'm gonna let y'all know how this happened. I'm supposed to be in California, keep in mind. And he reached out, we talking, he like, bro, I was gonna surprise you. I forgot you was in Cali. I was supposed to surprise you. I got a show in Tampa. I'm gonna be in the area. Yeah. And I was like, bro, I'm home. Yeah. He was like, what? and then it just so happened we had an open slot for this second week on the show, and we like, dang, who we can get? And I was like, Zell gonna be in town.
That's crazy.
And then next thing you know, everything, like I said, in the Most High's time, everything fell together perfectly. Exactly. Here we are, man. Man, the Most High is good at the end of the day, bro. I'm glad to have my brother alive in the studio. I'm telling you, bro.
Good to finally meet you, man.
For real.
I'm gonna just tell you something. Like everything you see online, the way this man portrayed himself is all true. I'm gonna just say that, man. Like his family is a blessing. Like we connected him with the church, and we really just trying to get things moving,
For sure. Hey, man, we at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Family in Christ, body in Christ, bro. It's all love at the end of the day. This is what we do. This is what it's all about. This is literally what it's all about, bro. Got to bring everybody together. Got to tie it up. Now, the first thing I wanted to get with you on, because we know it's been a minute since the last time we saw you. We got some releases.
Yes, sir.
We got a new EP that came out.
Yes, sir.
And you dropped your most recent. Adding up.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about how those came to be. Tell us about what you've been up to recently.
See, when it comes to adding up, that's crazy. All these questions ain't pre-scripted.
Nah, this is all up. This is all up.
Get ready for it. But when it comes to adding up, it was really a state of my life where I felt like I'm giving so much to like the dedication of this world and the dedication of people that I feel like is supposed to be there for me, and I'm not getting nothing back. But it's like I don't do it for that return. But it's like, how we gonna build? Where's the reciprocation? Like, if I give you this, you reciprocate, or whatever the situation might be. It gotta add up to the point where like we gotta move forward. So the whole song, I try to make it based off of emotions, because you get emotional when things don't work out the way you want them to. You know. So,
and that kind of goes in line with the whole thing where it says you got to be equally yoked. Not only that, but you know, how can two walk together unless they agree, right? Both got to got to
add up.
I don't think y'all realize what a yoke do. Like, you got to walk at the same time. You got to be lockstep. You know what I'm saying? And if one person's doing all the work and one person ain't, like, it's like at the end of the day, the numbers ain't adding up. You know what I'm saying?
And another thing, like, because adding up means a lot of things. Even when it comes to the people that's in the industry or in the world, someone that's happy for you, and you thought someone you thought was happy for you, and then when things start to finally work out, and it's like it's a lot of hating, a lot of enviness, and a lot of you want to betray your brother. It's like, yo, the love ain't adding up. What's going on? That's why I say a lot of people try and get rid of me like Kennedy. It's like it be your closest brother. It's not betrayal unless it's someone you love. So that the whole song is basically about reciprocate what you give, and don't let this world take advantage. You get what I'm saying? Like, if it's not adding up, let it go.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
You know?
That's crazy, man. And I know, and I know you got some things in the works that you're trying to put together, some videos. Tell us a little bit about what you got planned, what you got going forward, because we know you got a special event that's coming up too. Tell us about that, bro. Tell us about that.
I got a lot of things coming up, man. Like, when it comes to the videos, as I know I dropped a video in the last few 2 years. And the reason why I take my time is because I don't want to oversaturate myself. I don't want to give myself that time or a video or give y'all something just because of it.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Like, what I'm in this for, the most I got me in this for, is to have a mission, and most importantly is to have a voice. So with that voice, if y'all listening to what I'm saying, you're gonna watch what I do. So when it comes to the videos, I'm just trying to have a whole storyline that based on. It's called Frenemies and Emotions. I know I've been waiting on for a minute. I get it.
I've been waiting on
I know. Listen, but this is a project close to my heart, and I wanted to capture exactly what it embodies to have frenemies and emotions while you deal with it, because it's basically talking about if you have a belief and you know that you're doing the right thing in life. Don't listen to everybody else around you, because that's why I said frenemies. The ones you think is friends, but when you really let them know your real agenda and you let them know, like, I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that, that's who you see who's really around you and who really want to support that. When the money's around, you're going to see who's around. When the money's not around, you're going to see who really supported you in your mission. So basically, when I say frenemies and emotions, and when it comes to the emotion side, you got to deal with after the effect, when you lose that person in your life, you know how it trains you to understand like how focused you got to be, and like, you know what, I'm right. I can't listen to the outside influence. You get what I'm saying? That's like when it comes to frenemies and emotions, you can't listen to the outside influence. You know, like, this person loved me, but they didn't have that best interest at heart that I thought they did. I'm not going to say they dislike me or hate me now. We just didn't have the same vision.
Exactly.
So that's what this whole EP is embodying. That's why I was taking my time. So like, because I want the slow songs that you got adding up. Like the exclusives and like you had coming up. You get what I'm saying?
I know about
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a ride. It's a ride. It's basically like, you know, like whatever you believe in, and if you're righteous and if you're a good person, don't let that phase you. Don't care what your friends say. Don't care what your people say, because at the end of the day, the Most High gave you that vision. If He gave it to you and you rock with that, and you telling everybody what's going on, expect a disagreement.
Exactly. And that's the thing.
Expect a disagreement.
And a lot of times we have this mindset, you know, especially, you know, based off of what we were taught previously, you know, people who are in prosperity movement and Christianity. And it's genuinely what we're taught growing up is that when you do the right thing's always going to come out, right? Or how we're taught to view the right thing, right? And that's the problem. A lot of times the fact of the matter is that the scripture said, Christ said, those who seek to follow me, prepare that soul for temptation. Like, bro, I don't think y'all think that y'all gonna come aboard this thing because I'm the Messiah and this thing gonna be easy. Like, He's like, listen, birds got trees, Wombats got caves. The Christ, listen,
Exactly.
but the Son of Man have not a place to lay his head.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, nobody came into, you can't come into whatever the Most High reveals to you, whatever that vision is. A lot of times, and I tell people this all the time when I'm letting them know how they need to start a business, is when you get the vision of that business you want to start, you see the end, right? You don't see everything up to that point, right? When you start in a restaurant, you see the nice chairs, you see all the people sitting in them, you see
middle ground.
Yeah, you don't see them raggedy beat up chairs you had to get for free. You know, that chairs you had to get for free. You know, like your pops always talk about how the studio you had to put a mattress up in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
You remember that?
Like, you know, when you think about it, you don't see that as your start. You don't see that as that's your journey. But you hear the music, right? You hear the music, you hear the end results, you see the end result. But at the end of the day, there's something that has to build up to that point. And
you see the out result.
You see the outward result. You don't see the end result. You don't see the journey. You see the end. You see the end. You see the out. You see A. You see A where you at, and you see Z where you gonna be. But you don't see all the letters in between. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of letters in between. There's a lot of steps to this process. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't really see that. And what it comes down to is we have to understand when majority of the scriptures say that broad is the way that leads to destruction, narrow and straight is the way that leads to life, right? So if the Most High puts something in you for you to do something or a direction that you're supposed to go, don't expect a lot of people to want to follow you.
Exactly.
Because they believe that their path is right, just like you believe your path is right.
You don't see it.
Exactly. We everybody has their own path and the direction that they got to take, but you have to be confident in the steps that you're taking are the ones that the Most High is guiding you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And that was the whole direction of the tape.
Yeah.
To help people get into that element, to be like, I'm not scared to deal with my vision, because don't get me wrong, we all been there as an artist or whatever you might be as a creator. We all been there where we get to a stage where like, okay, I want to do this.
I'm not gonna be a lesson. I'm not gonna be the bearer of bad news to say put out whatever quality over quality. Understand? So I'm not gonna be the bearer of bad news, but like at the end of the day, you gotta know if it's something that this world is missing that help you heal, it can help someone else. So don't be scared, don't be discouraged, and stop telling people what you're doing before you do it. Because that's the vision, like I said, that's the vision that the Most High gave you, that you can only see the path on, that you can only see yourself doing, that help others see it, because we got to lead by example.
And at the end of the day, I tell people this all the time, man. If your quality is wrong, it's because your motive is wrong. See, anything that you do for yourself, or anything that you're doing for other people, you can slack on. But when you claim to be doing something for the Most High, but you're not putting on quality, where your motives really at? It's not really about it. You know what I'm saying? When you're serious about that, like like I said, quality over quantity. I'm going to put whatever I can into making this the vision that the Most High gave you. Exactly. I'm not going to put out anything less than the vision that the Most High gave you. You know what I'm saying?
And you got to do what your target audience.
Title, I consider myself a speaker for the youth. You know what I'm saying? I know what they want to do. I know what they need to do, and I'm trying to be the best example of how you can do what you got to do without backlash and really dealing with the temptations of all this contracts and selling yourself short. You get what I'm saying? Like talent shouldn't sell yourself short. Like we're the diamond. Without us, record labels don't go.
Exactly.
They don't go.
Exactly.
Like they need us.
Without us, nothing goes. The entire entertainment industry. Don't get it twisted. Dude. Sports is still entertainment. Sports is entertainment. Nothing runs without the artists or without the athletes that make it run. Right. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you understand your power, right? And that's why I try to let people know, like, the system the system is only sustained by the people that sustain it. Somebody has to pay for when you pay for something, it's paying when you're paying for your lights, when you're paying for your gas, that's paying for something to be upkept.
Exactly.
For the maintenance of something, for something to get better, for something to progress, for there to be upgrades, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the sooner you understand that whatever I'm taking out of my pocket and I'm putting into something is going towards something developing, towards something getting better. So the second you stop paying, try not paying your property taxes if you don't want to, see what happens. It's like, yeah, that street that's going on. If everybody stopped paying property taxes, this country will go to crap so fast. This whole thing is done, right? Exactly. So and that's where you have to understand it's the same thing when you're talking about business or when you're talking about your work. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people talk about it, but they're not really about it.
They're not really about it.
You should know them by their fruits. Yeah. Like what you putting out. If I look at your video, you're like, yeah, bro, I got this video coming out. It's about to be crazy. It's like, oh yeah, and it's like, yeah. And then I go and look at the video. I'm like,
I appreciate the effort. You mean I appreciate the effort. You mean like I love that you taking the time out to promote what you gotta do. And me, I'm not nobody's perfect. I'm not nobody that made it and not like that. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Because and the reason for that because I put myself in a position where I just want to learn about the game and like the groundwork it takes. Mm-hmm. It's about putting in the work. Mm-hmm. Like you could be as most talented as you need to be. Just put in the work and just understand that like just because you're talking about something or whatever the situation might be, just know it's not always good enough. Mm-hmm. You still got to set that standard.
Bro, you still got to set that standard. I learned that best as an athlete, you know. I was blessed enough to win a lot, but later towards the end of my career, we lost a lot. Mm-hmm. And you pour so much into something. I was a safety. I was a safety in the corner, right? So it was kind of for me. I felt like there was a lot of times where you put in everything and you get ticked off, right? You put in all the time, you put in all the efforts. Like I'm training, I'm doing this, I'm on the film, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and you put a great product out on the field and you still fall short, right? And a lot of people feel like you get discouraged. And it's like, bro, what I'm gonna do? Like, man, it seems like everything I'm doing is not working. Yeah, it's working. It's working. All you need is to be patient and allow the Most High to set up the pieces around you.
It's not your time
to turn it into what you need to turn it into, right? Just because you're not winning right now, don't mean that you aren't taking the right steps to win. Because that's what winning takes, right? Winning takes time.
It's not your time, and I hate to bring up these guys like I care. Mm-hmm. No one who cares about the president now, right? You know, but when it comes to Joe Biden, he's the oldest president of America, and then you got Obama, which was the youngest. Mm-hmm. We both know what these two guys are doing with their presidency or whatnot. Yeah. But it goes to show like. Everyone has their time. Just because something working for you at this age doesn't mean it's going to pop up.
Exactly.
It's all about patience and following that wave that you got, staying true to yourself. That's the point I was trying to get at before.
Yeah.
Staying true to yourself and trusting.
Being honest with yourself,
Being honest with yourself.
You got to be honest with who you are and what you are. And that's and I said this before in a lesson. I said, confidence is not thinking that you're better than what you are. That's ego and arrogance.
It's a difference. Yeah.
Confidence is knowing who you are, what you're capable of, and being and being able to move in that with belief and trust, right? That you are what you are. See, the fact of the matter is, if I'm listen, I knew for a fact when I wasn't good at man coverage, I wasn't gonna sit up there and try to challenge somebody to a one-on-one. It's not going down like that. Yeah. In the zone coverage, I know I'm strong that way. Like, listen, bet I know I got my help over here, I got this over here. And then when eventually in my career, when I know I can square up with somebody, then I can make that. I could try to make that step. But at the time, I knew what I was. Like, I'm not going just because I have pride or because I have an ego that I'm just gonna match. Oh yeah, you talking trash to me like that? You ain't caught a ball. Like you can talk trash. Why don't you one-on-one me? Like you can talk all you want, but I'm winning.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm winning.
They're gonna try to get you off your game.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
At the end of the day, it's about what are you putting out. What product are you putting on the field? What product are you putting out in the studio? Whatever that might be, you have to have the understanding of who you are, what people that you're trying to reach, what you're capable of. Because the second you start operating outside of what you're capable of, your grits. It's up.
Exactly.
Water. Caskets. 6 feet under. It's over. It's dead. And now you never got started. You never truly got started. And you see people who have failed careers. And then come out later, well, I was trying to sound like this person. I was trying to sound like that person. Now you know doggone well you can't sing like Whitney Houston. So what you were doing trying to do a Whitney Houston
is Whitney Houston. And that's another thing I wanted to get at, man.
Get it.
Like, I don't want to say stop trying to be like everybody else, or like, because I'm not trying to come off as preachy, and I'm not trying to come off as trying to be that person that's the old head that's trying to give you a game. I'm just trying to let y'all know what it is. Like, because people seem to underestimate originality.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Like, you're not the next no one. Yeah. You're you.
Yeah,
you feel me? Like that's just what it is. It ain't gonna get no better than that, and it ain't gonna. No one could tarnish that.
Yeah,
it's all about what you said. People always say when I sing, I want to be the next such and such, or when they do a sport or whatever, I want to be the next such and such. But when they get to a certain level, you notice they don't want to be that person no more.
Nope.
You get what I'm saying? Because they realized they was able to build their own legacy. They was able to be amongst those people. So when you do music, it's good to have inspiration. It's good to have someone you learn from. But it's bad to have someone you would never put yourself ahead of.
Exactly.
Because like at the end of the day, this person probably looking at you like, and you're at the beginning stage of your career.
Yeah.
He probably looking at you like, yo, I can never put a verse together like that. And he been 10 years in the game.
Because think about it. Think about it this way too. Chances are I'll put it like this. A lot of times, especially in any industry, there's a type, right? It's the same thing in acting and sports. You have a body type, you have a build, right? So because there's a person that you're built like or a person that you play like, yeah, that's perfect. But what you need to be looking at is not how to be that person. You look at their shortcomings and how you can do those better. Now you're not because the fact of the matter is, if I run like you, I run like you. Like I can't change the way that I run. But what I can do is find out, okay, you lost here. How did you lose? You were short here. How did you get short?
Exactly.
It's the way that you came out. How can I come out of the block in a way that's better than you? So I can. At the end of the day, it's all about how can I take the best of me? If we're similar, how can I take the best of me to get that next step up? Because fact of the matter is that they didn't have you to look at. They didn't have them to look at.
Exactly.
So you're at an advantage.
Well, we're creating a demonstration.
You're at a competitive advantage because you have somebody ahead of you that paved the way and did everything wrong. So now I can go behind you and be like, I'm gonna do exactly what you did, but I'm gonna do these instead.
Yeah, make it my own.
Exactly. So you have to understand your competitive advantage in being original and being yourself.
And listen, I'm gonna catch a lot of flack saying this, but I always wanted to say this. This is why I say, listen, people gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna say it straight out. This is why I say Tupac is overrated. People gonna hate me for it. People gonna say, "Oh, he don't know hip hop." I get it. I understand the time, but you gotta understand this generation and what they grew up listening to, and their competitors. Someone like Kendrick Lamar, would you say he can't keep up with Tupac?
I want to say that.
That's my point.
I want to say that.
That's my point. He's seen what Tupac did and evolutionized it.
It's
like you just said, you got that blueprint, and people see what hip hop from with that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the same thing with Kellen Winslow. Kellen Winslow, for those who don't know, I'm a student of the sport. That's one thing I became when I started playing ball. My pops made me to be a student of the sport. Kellen Winslow was the first receiving tight end. That was the first of it. And when you look at who came next, you look at Shannon Sharps. You look at Tony Gonzalez, you look at Jason Witten, you look at Antonio Gates, you look at Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Mark Andrews. All these dudes have one person that they always refer to that they go back and look at.
You get what I'm saying?
Because he was the prototype. He was the first to do it.
But are they better than him?
Way better.
You get what I'm
They're way better. And it's because he was the first person to do it. Because he was the first person. Yeah.
Like you ain't gotta be like it's cool to be the like okay. I
it's
must
okay
say
to be the blueprint.
It's okay to be the blueprint. Tupac is the blueprint to move how like he changed when it comes to rap and pop culture. He brought that together. You get what I'm saying? The first rapper to transition into Hollywood to really be an actor and to be a good rapper and to have as much impact on the hood that he had. You can't change that. You get what I'm saying? But it's like he set the blueprint. So when someone do something and they do something more than Tupac, don't be afraid to give that person that credit because they want to make people like I said, like Kendrick Lamar or the J. Cole's and whatnot, they put them at a certain level. They will never put them over the greats. But at the end of the day, that's what it's for. It's for you to evolutionize it.
It's very rare where you do it first and you do it best.
You get what I'm saying? It's very rare.
It's very rare.
You get what I'm saying? Rare. It's very rare. Like, and then you gotta be influential while you do it. Cause I'm gonna be real with you. There's not many people that rap like Tupac that was successful. Lil Zane. I'm sorry. You get what I'm saying? There's not a lot of people that wasn't successful. So it's like you gotta what did you do for the art to make it so you to go? So and I get why his as a public figure, like if Tupac was around today, he'll be considered a public figure. Like would he speak for the people while he had music, while he's in movies, he's dibbling dabbling in different things. He'll be considered a public figure as someone that's influenced in the culture, but not just in one distinct thing, which is rap or music, because I take that serious. Yeah. And one thing I do take from Pockets is passion, how we talk about things. And how much pain he had in his lyrics and whatnot. You can't take that away from him. But there are better rappers than him. And people not willing to admit that because they scared. It's like the Jordan and LeBron argument. You know what I'm saying? Or the Tom Brady and Joe Montana argument. It's whoever came first. Yeah. That's who's better, and that's not true. Yeah. Yeah. Because who was rapping before Tupac? They don't consider him the best.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Ice-T.
You get what I'm saying? So it's not always about that.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely correct. Like I said, it's very rare when you do it first and you do it best, because there's always somebody behind you that's chasing what you're doing, or that sees what you're doing and sees how it's successful. Because it's a copycat world, right? When somebody does something great, somebody wants to come behind and do it the same and better, right? How can I do what you did but better? So truth of the matter is that when you have somebody who does something first, it's very and I want to point out one particular thing that you brought up is, and this is something that I say all the time, and this is something that one of my chefs told me when I was in school. He said, you aren't really a master of a profession until you've created something, right? Until you have something that you've created, that you've invented. That's true. So it was like you may have the title of a chef, but you can't go past that title of a chef into a master chef or an iron chef until you created something.
So your own recipe.
Exactly. So you got something that you're known for, that's signature to you. And that was one of the things that I focused on before I ever went out doing other things. I said, listen, I gotta, and I realized I had something different than what other people have. And it's the same thing for people who are trying to do something. Listen, if you want to be a master of your craft, find how you can take what's there and make it better. Because the fact of the matter is that if you don't do it, somebody else gonna do it.
Yo, and I'm gonna tell you what he's saying is true. Because like the whole I've been doing music for about 11, 12 years now, faithfully. And I didn't get my own sound until I started finding an instrument in the beat that no one could really hear and making that my melody. I'm giving y'all a secret right now. But like that's dope. He said that you gotta have that distinct recipe for whatever you do that make you better than the rest. Like Gene Michael Basquiat, like the art, like the painter that came out. The reason why I liked about him is like he used to paint his paint. That's what made him so big to where he is now. He was able, and also like he passed away at a young age. So you know how when you pass away, your value go up. But like all praise be to his soul. And like, but the thing is, the things he was painting was before his time. He put himself in his own box. Yeah. So what he's talking about, whatever you do, if you cook, if you do music, if you swim, whatever the situation might be, just have that certain thing where they can distinct you and no one else.
That's true mastery. You can't master something until you can create something. Like anybody can come into a profession and copycat. Like fact is like anybody can go into a recipe book and do us in a recipe, right? And take down instructions, right? All of that's easy to do. But until you can go in there from scratch with nothing in there, no recipe book, it's just you, God, and them instruments. It's like, dude, like it ain't you aren't a master. That's what masters do. Masters can hear something small and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go do something. I'm gonna go and do something. Hold on. We saw Will.I.Am do it on X Factor in the middle of the show. He was like, what is he doing? Next thing you know, he's with the band. Then wrote a whole song. Had a whole set up the whole thing.
So, yeah,
that's
that was
mastery,
crazy.
right?
That
That's
was
mastery. Like I'm sitting there looking at like, dude, this dude just created
Right
some
there.
heat in
Right
like
there.
15 minutes.
You don't know when it's gonna come.
That's mastery. That's mastery.
Yeah.
Now, to the topic at hand, because I have a question that I wanted to ask you.
Most definitely.
That I feel like is a big part of our culture in this time that we're living in. Is young
Most
people.
definitely.
So there's a statistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Majority of our generation financially end up at some point in their life within the top 5% in the financial bracket, meaning that they acquire massive wealth in a short period of time. 10% of those people that end up inside of that 5%, that tax bracket, aren't there by the end of 10 years, which means that they lose their money as fast as they got it. Why do you think it's easier for people to obtain wealth than it is, well, not necessarily wealth, riches, than it is for them to obtain wealth or to sustain it for a long period of time?
And I remember this. I remember a conversation we had earlier about this, and I wanted to answer on this on here. The main reason was because they focus. They're focusing their inspiration in the things that they want to work towards. They finally get it and realize it amounts to nothing. And once they finally get it, they don't know how to sustain it. So what I say by that is, if you have a goal to build a nation and to have food, have farm, and have cattle, and have chicken, and have food, like growing natural resources and building an actual refuge for people, it's going to be non-flowing because that goal is never going to end. Because people born every day. You're building a nation. But if you have something that's temporary, like cars, clothes, jewelry, whatever the situation might be, and that's your goal, once you finally get it, what's the end goal? You gonna buy another car? You gonna get into what I'm saying? Like, so what is the end goal? That you're not putting towards, you're not putting anything towards a future. So with that, you fall off. Because your purpose is no more. The woman that you wanted is no longer there. It's
not a good why. You have your why is money. You get money. Now what?
You get what I'm saying? You gotta have a purpose. So that's why I said building a nation is always grow. So as much as you invest in that, whether you here or not, the children that's born is going to live off of that. The things that you built, because it's building. It's going towards something. That's why I say people fall off, because their success is in the wrong areas. And we're trained to think that we're in the hood. We're trained to think to be better than each other. When really we should be trying to uplift each other. Like when we become the first billionaire, it's announced. But there's billionaires being made every day in the white communities or whatever community there is. And it's not being announced. And the reason why they announced that is because they want us to feel like we got more than each other. But really, we're the ones that's supposed to be up. We the salt of the earth. We the flavor. Whenever, like, look at Mark Rubin right now. He first with Meek Mill and Lil Baby and all them. He just had invited them to their white party. This man would not have his daughter dating under the men. But the reason why he had them with him is because he have a business called Fanatics, where he got to spell for sports merchandise and things of that nature. He got to have pop culture available. So you know what? If he got Meek Mill and Lil Baby, look who I'm hanging with. Come and cop this jersey. They're gonna come and cop that jersey. That's why I've been trying to tell people, we gotta have our mental other places and our resources other places. We gotta build each other. We can't be sitting here just giving our money back on fashion or whatever the situation might be. We gotta build cattle. We gotta have resources. We gotta have gold. We gotta have whatever it takes to prevail in this world and have our own governments. That's how our wealth can stay, not riches, but wealth, because there's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why that's one of the things that I was explaining to a friend yesterday when I was breaking it down. There's a difference between being rich and being wealthy, right? Money is the Bible tells us that money is a defense, right? And a lot of people, when they look at money, they use it offensively, right? And sometimes people don't realize that they're using it offensively. We don't realize that we're using it offensively. The way that we're taught is when you get money, you go and buy the car that you want, you go to buy the house that you want, you go and get the whatever that you want. Right. But in truth, what money was created to be was something to keep you out of situations, out of dangerous situations, and get you out of dangerous situations. It's meant to be a protection. Right. And essentially what wealth is as it relates to money is long money. That's what they call it. There's a difference between old money and new money. There's a difference. It's all money, but there's a difference. See, that long money is what sustains you. Now, from a career standpoint, the reason why people get to a certain point and they fall off, especially in our generation, is there's no obsession. Upset, that the word, what you were talking about was focus. I like to use the word obsession because I know what that looks like, right? Now we're inundated with so many different things, right? You're inundated with this idea and with that idea and with this career path and that career path, and they're all coming at you in 30-second intervals because everybody's going like this now, right? Everybody's on TikTok and everybody's on YouTube Shorts and everybody's on Instagram Shorts. So you're getting all of these ideas and you're being inundated with all these things in little 20-second, 15-second, 30-second clips, right? And there's no opportunity really for anybody to become obsessed with one particular thing. And that's one thing that I noticed, right? When I decided my pops would not let me play until he knew that I was ready, right? And one thing that I did is I became obsessed with the sport. I read about it. I listened to it. I watched videos on it. I played video games.
You did whatever it took to do the best.
My entire focus, what I thought about, what I prayed about, everything that I was doing was towards this particular thing. When we look at the prophets had an obsession with the Most High. That's what that is, right? It's the desire and a desire to be close to something, to always be around something, to inundate yourself with this, to surround yourself with one particular thing, right? But now we have so many different distractions, right? Imagine back, I always tell people back in Abraham time, bro, if you want to go do something, you had to go do it. All right, we're going to have to pack up the entire house, put that thing on the cattle. Like, and this is a 2-week journey. To get, for me, from this house to some of the places that we drive to, it would take you a good amount of time to walk, right? So if there was something that you desired to do, there was a way you could immerse yourself in just that thing, right? Whereas now there's so many different things coming from different places. It's harder to stay focused, to become obsessed with one thing, to master one craft.
And it's like that on purpose. It's like that on purpose. They throw us all these things so we won't put all our time to even down to a 9 to 5. I was just having this conversation with someone the other day. Like a 9 to 5, they schedule you literally right the best 8 hours of the day of your prime hours of the day. You get what I'm saying? It's strategically that way because like by the time you're done that, all you want to do is go home, probably make you something to eat, shower, relax, and go to sleep. You don't want to work now towards your dream. You don't want to record a song. You don't want to create anything within those other hours.
Your brain's dead. You don't got the mental capacity to create.
All you thinking about is like, yo, I gotta go back and do this tomorrow. And that's why I tell people I'm not on here to let people know like, oh, don't get a job. 9 to 5, it work out, money, do what it gotta do. But at the end of the day, don't get caught up in that job. Don't get caught up at thinking that's going to elevate you. That's what I tell people. If you want a job for what you want a job for, it's cool. But don't think it's for you or towards your dream or towards your goal because it's not. It's not built that way. Why would they build a system where you could be independent when the system depends on us?
And when you look at the actual lawful definition of employee, the word is slave. It means slave, right? And when you look at biblically, employees were in fact slaves. They were indentured, they were servants. But keep in mind the way that it worked. When those people was working for another man's house and another man's business, right? When they were sent away after 7 years, what were they sent away with? Funds and resources. Some of them have funds and resources to actually go and start something themselves. Right? So even when you think about what it was to be an employee, and the end goal wasn't to stay with this person forever. If that's what happened, then that's great. But the end goal was to at the end of the 7 years, I'll have a little something where I can go start my carpenter or my tent making company or my fishing, or I can go buy a boat and start fishing. Like that, it was always an end goal. But now people go into a job like, I'm gonna turn this into a career.
It's the same system on steroids.
Exactly.
They realize the mindset. They realize like, okay, these people aren't working for me. They're working for their end goal. So there's like, you know what? Let's give them an end goal. Let's make them feel like, let's give them a full
you can move up in the company.
Yeah, exactly. Get a promotion.
Keep going where you're going.
They took that same exact system, bro, and that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. You said that. It's the same as it's just revolutionized.
Hey, man, I know you flipping burgers right now. If you keep going the way that you're going,
you're gonna be cutting lettuce with burgers.
You're gonna be cutting lettuce with them burgers, and next thing you know, you're gonna be putting the cheese with it. And then once you got that cheese, it's up. Once you get to that cheese, you know, next thing you know, you're gonna be watching somebody put the lettuce in the cheese.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that, crazy. But when you actually think about the way the system works, that's actually what it is, right? and it's like, yeah, and guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna pay 15 cents more per hour to do it.
And why you think that is so frowned upon with us being independent? Like when it comes to a label, when it comes to us working for ourselves or anything, it's so frowned upon, and it's so much work because they know once we get it, we got it. We got it.
Yeah, and that's
you know what I'm saying? We got it, and I'm willing to put that work in, bro. That's what I'm saying.
It's
like,
wild because it's the same way in the culinary arts industry. Because when you go to culinary school, they're not training you to go out and do something on your own. They're telling you, oh yeah, when you graduate, you're gonna go and work for this chef, you're gonna work for that chef, and then eventually you'll work your way up to executive chef, and then one day you'll start your own restaurant. They don't tell you that you don't gotta work for nobody. Which when you get your credentials, you can leave and go work for somebody. You can be your own thing. You can be your own person and make more money doing it that way. But that kind of the private or the private chef or the private chef or the personal chef, those jobs are frowned upon in the culinary arts community for a long time. And until people realize what it was, it's like, well, you're going out and doing kind of against the norm. When the truth is, that's where the money always was. That's where the passion always was. Because a lot of people who are chefs, their passions die in those jobs.
When someone tells you you're going against the norm, you're doing something right. You're doing something perfect. I don't want to be normal. I want to be weird. I want to be different. You understand? Because like, what is the normal getting us?
Nowhere.
You get like if it's normal, and we all struggling and we all doing something ain't right with that. So if someone say you're going with the norm, you're not with the norm, or other people don't do that, you're doing something right.
That's never been. That doesn't make sense. Right, and that's one thing I talked to FELTON Pilot about. It's like it's very difficult because the first thing you come out, you're trying to do something impossible, right? And then once you achieve the impossible, everybody's achieving what was once impossible. Now it's possible. So now what's the next impossible?
Exactly.
But you can't think that way when you don't put yourself in positions to think that way.
It's only been so far you can think when, like you said, like it's only been so far you think like you don't have the imagination. And I don't want to get too deep, but that's why they brought these phones and social media into the play. Yeah. Because they're taking people's attention span way out of the way, like a song now. That's why if you haven't noticed, I used to make a minimum of my songs 3 minutes. Yeah. Now my songs can be no more than 2 minutes. Why? People can't. Their attention span is ridiculous. And like it's like if I don't have a good hook, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear nothing I gotta say if I ain't got a good hook. Mind you, I have no problems writing hooks. I have no problems. Like that's not my issue. Yeah. My issue is like, man, I got so much more to offer, but it's like y'all I know that you're not gonna stick around and listen to it. Yeah. They're not gonna stick around and hear it. And it's sad. And I know, and I realized this because there was a post about like there was not one number one rap album or not one number one single of all 2023. And I was thinking, why is this? And it's because the substance of music is gone. It's gone. It's like because no one wants to make a great album anymore. No, everybody want to make a single or 2 or 4 or 5 singles on an album where they know they're gonna get rotated and they know that's 18 songs just sitting there. So like, what is the value of music now? Should we change? Should we stop dropping albums? Should we just give them EPs? You get what I'm saying? But it's like me seeing that state of hip hop, it let us know like the people fed up. Ever since the whole transition happened between when the whole COVID situation, quarantine, with TikTok and all that, all people care about is a 55-second hook. If you ain't got that, they're not gonna rock with it. If you ain't got nothing they can repeat or relate to or whatever the situation might be, they're not gonna rock with it. And it's like music. I remember 10 years ago, people was complaining about music. The state it was now. We just gotta be grateful for what we got.
And that's the thing is, and just to piggyback on that part. I mean, you talked about imagination, Thing is like imagination is what you create in your mind.
Exactly.
See, the reason why people's imaginations, and it's true, it's not the fact that people's imaginations aren't as strong or as good as they were. That's not even a opinion. That's a fact. And the reason why is because before the imagination was built on having to create things because of what wasn't present. But now you have these, right? You have these that has everything in the world right available to you. So you don't have to imagine. Back in the day when it's like, listen, bro, I know I ain't never going to no Paris. But I'm thinking about what it looked like in my head.
Yeah.
Paris probably look like this.
You control it. Whatever.
Now you get on Google Maps and you can walk through the streets. You know what I'm saying? Get in the VR, like, you know what I'm saying? So the need for imagination has gone down. So people's ability to create things has been placed within the box of what they can find in their phone, right? As opposed to extending your brain beyond what hasn't been found or what hasn't been seen or what hasn't been discovered, right? All of those things, that's absolutely a great point because people don't think about it that way. Like everything that you do, those 20-second clips, some people be looking at a clip on TikTok when they realize it's longer than 45 seconds. It was something that you was engaged in.
45 seconds. We talking about 45 seconds.
Oof, I'm telling you.
That's not even enough for an interlude on the intro. And mind you, interlude ain't got no words. That's crazy.
Yeah.
45, but that's what we come to now. If you're not saying in the first 15 seconds of that song, they're not gonna be interested.
Done.
And if you got a message that they can't relate to what they about to do when they turn off TikTok and when they leave the house, they're not gonna want to hear that. But it's like, yo, like we have to save music because us acting like that is the reason why we have the AI and all this other stuff generated.
Yep.
We're adding to the problem. Our attention span notice that, okay, we need to pump out more. Humans ain't capable of doing that. So who we gonna call? So you're adding on to the problem. So listen, just relax and really understand what someone's trying to get across. Like me personally, I'm not someone that can express myself. Nobody would know what's going on personally unless you're family or whatever the situation might be. But I always been that, even when it came to my father, I always been that kid that couldn't express myself the way I wanted to. I always wanted to, but I didn't know how. And it was like, maybe it's something wrong with me. So I started boxing. I boxed for 8 years. That wasn't the case. And I'm like, yo, how can I express myself? That's why I got into music. That's why I fell in love with music. And I was able to say the things in a way that I couldn't say it verbally, because if for some reason it makes better sense in the song than I do saying it to you for some reason. But that's even going now. That I'm saying that the whole reason of you making music based off of how you feel, whatever the situation might be, that's losing substance. But we're now more focused on the wave. And like, you know what, if I say this, they're gonna get hyped when I say this. And it's like, who you writing for? Because your fans are waiting for you. They're not waiting for you to say what they're saying. They can say that themselves. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's all reverting. And when I'm talking like this, we got trail and light water. We got to walk on eggshells because we don't want to. Stop being scared to get canceled, man.
Hey, Ice Cube was just talking about that. I was listening on my way to get you. Bro.
He said that?
Yeah, he was talking about that 4 days ago.
Stop being scared to get canceled, man. Because remember how you grew up and remember how I made you. And remember the experience you had where you be like, oh, that's too far, whatever the situation might be. Know what it did for you. Because this world is trying to eliminate that for a reason. It's trying to eliminate that for a reason. They seen that people was growing up themselves. So you know what? Let's censor things. Let's start. We took the father out of the household. So now let's try to push this on them. Oh, that didn't work. Let's censor what they can say, even if you grew up with a single household, whatever the trauma you grew up with, you can't even speak about it online because it's helping people. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, that's facts. No, that's facts, because that's exactly what he was talking about, where he's like, it's creating an environment of fear, right? It makes that when you cancel somebody, quote unquote, you're making them an example, right? But once you realize that there's people who can't be canceled that support you, Like Ice Cube has said so many things where he probably should have been canceled about 12, 13 times.
11 times
Ice Cube's
already.
not going nowhere, right? And it's the same thing.
Ice Cube, bro.
It's the same thing he'll say.
It's Ice Cube,
And
bro.
a lot of times, the reason why people get canceled is not because of what they say. It's because they're way too vague when they're talking about
threat.
it. Like, dude, like he said one thing that I realized is by saying what you mean and meaning what you say, they can't cancel you. Mm-hmm. But when you vague and you try to beat around the bush, well, some things like this or with these people, instead of speaking to exactly who you're talking about, bro, that's what really gets you in trouble.
Yeah, and the question you gotta ask, like just like you said, Ice Cube asked this question. He asked, "What I'm saying bother you, or is what I'm saying is a threat?"
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Exactly. Like it's a difference. Mm-hmm. It can bother you, like you could be like, because that people could threaten you, you can still get offended. Mm-hmm. But which one is it? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Is it deeply the offense, or is it really something going on that you don't want him to say, or whatever you don't want us to say?
And that's the thing is people can't divide what's true by what they don't want to hear. Mm-hmm. So because it's something that they don't want to hear, they reject it and believe it to be false. Exactly. When the truth of the matter is like, listen to what I'm saying. And and when people try to get in arguments or a debate with me, I'll say, listen, you hear what I'm saying? What I said was wrong. Tell me, break it down. So how, regardless of how you feel about it, regardless of your opinion, where was I wrong? Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's the same thing. Like it's like how James Brown was. How James Brown when he was creating a melody, he was like, "Nah, bro, that's not how you're not supposed to do it." Yeah. He was like, everybody else in here tapping their foot. I'm tapping my foot. I'm dancing. Like, so what's wrong with it? he's like, I understand it's outside of the realm of what you wanted, or what you're accustomed to. But everybody in here dancing, so what's wrong with it? The truth is, there's nothing wrong with it. Majority of the time when people say things that rub people the wrong way, it's not because it's wrong, it's because it's what they don't want to hear. Yeah. We have a question in the chat. It says, TJ, the 90s kid says, who is an artist you really want to work with, dead or alive?
Me? Mm-hmm. Who's an artist I really want to work with, dead or alive? Can I pick one or two?
We'll give you two.
You want to give me two?
We'll give you two.
Oh man, passing away. You know what's crazy? This might be controversial, but passing away, one artist I would love to work with in the studio is Michael Jackson. Passing away, and the reason why I say Michael is because this man knew the industry in and out. Mm-hmm. He knew what they was trying to do to him. He knew what they was trying to do to everybody after him, and his creative ability and how serious he took it was like top notch. Like you had to bring the best out of yourself to work with that man. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's one way. Alive, who would I like to work with? Lauryn Hill.
Oh. That's actually a really good one.
Lauryn Hill, most definitely.
She is an amazing artist.
Alive, Lauryn Hill, I would love to work with Lauryn Hill.
That is a good answer.
Because like that, I know for a fact we can make a banger. I know. Listen. I know for a fact. I know it.
She's one of those artists. She's one of those artists where she can do so many things.
Listen, her in this today's Lauryn Hill. Listen, I'm telling you, man. In this today's age, bro, with a Lauryn Hill feature with anybody would be amazing.
Yeah. Bro,
that would be crazy.
She's one of those few artists, very timeless, super timeless. She can get with, because she even when she was with Fugees, even when she was independent, she can rap. She was one. She's one of the greatest rappers of all time. Like she can shapeshift, and at the same time, she could turn it on a dime and sing too. And it's like, whoa.
What's everybody saying? That Radio Not sample. That's every sample on the radio now. Imagine me and Lauryn Hill did a Radio Not.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. You get
what I'm saying? Like, that would be crazy.
Bro,
like, what? Oh, man. Lauryn Hill, you seen this? We got it.
For sure. Tap in.
What? A Radio Not remix would be. What?
We got another question. Let's see. It says, who are your favorite artists? And how do you feel about music and the influence that it has on Black people and the Black community today?
It depends what genre you're talking about.
Oh.
It depends what genre you're talking about. Like when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to the influence I have. We already know what it is. It's about the streets. It's about spinning. It's about sleeping with someone else's girl. It's about all these female rappers now. Negativity. You get what I'm saying? And it's like it got to get back to what it was about. Like we were speaking on before, creating, being original. Why is it that we can make it sound like somebody else, but we can't make it being ourselves? That's backwards. Don't you want something fresh?
Yeah.
So that's what I say. The effect they have on the black community when it comes to like the message. It's because half of these guys not even spinning. Like for instance, I don't want to speak on this, but you got Cardi B, you got City Girls that's sitting here telling all these women how to live. But then Cardi B is wifed up. Yeah. She got 2 kids. She not out here living that city girl life. You got city girls. They pressed about whoever they with. You got JT with Lil Uzi. You got Young Miami with Diddy, whoever they with. But they're wiped up with high value men that have standards and that can lead them in the direction that you thought they couldn't lead themselves. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to give you. It's purely
about promoting an image.
Exactly. It's about promoting an image. They're going to give you something that they feel that should be pushed. But at the end of the day, they're not living that lifestyle because they know it's not going to benefit them if they live the way they're talking about. Yeah. It's not going to live that way. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it.
Who are your favorite artists?
Favorite artists? Who influenced my style or who's my favorite artist? Because my favorite artist is Lupe Fiasco. I love Lupe. I love Kanye. I love Kanye. I love his production.
Kanye's different.
And a lot of people hit me for this, for backlash, but growing up in my generation, my top rapper when I was growing up was Lil Wayne. And with that being said,
I think anybody who get mad about that, they're not being reasonable.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
a lot of people get mad about that. And the thing about this, because like how metaphorically this guy was and how intelligent he was off of the mic. People didn't see his interviews. They'll see him jumping around, dancing, or whatever the situation, but how he carried himself and what he did with a label, haven't been done before. Like, even Jay-Z, he has his old prodigies and whatnot, but, like, you never had someone that's on top of the game literally pass the baton to somebody. Literally pass the baton to someone that's under you. Like, from Wayne, it went from Wayne to Drake. After that, you get what I'm saying? It's like, so with that being said, like, I learned from the whole motion and how I want to move in a situation, like being beneficial and actually building a label like Enemies of Evil Records is basically mean as being enemies of evil. So seeing how he built that, he didn't just go for anybody that just said he wanted to be with the standard. He went with people that fit the criteria. You get what I'm saying? Who's going to be revolutionized? That's why I was saying it's bad that everybody want to be like everybody else. Because if you trying to scout, if you were a record executive or a manager, and you want to find something, you got like 3 artists that you already pushing, and you got one that's on the tail end of his career, and you're like, yo, I'm looking for the next. Would you want to look for the next him, or you want to look for something fresh? Yeah. What is it? You get what I'm saying? So,
and the best artists are the ones that could change with the times. I mean, like Stevie or hate him, I personally have Stevie as probably the greatest artist of all time because he has a Grammy in every decade since he started.
Stevie Wonder.
He's the only artist.
So he did it nonchalantly, bro. He did it so nonchalantly.
From the time he was 11 years old, he's had a hit every decade since he was 11 years old. You know how hard that is?
You can't rate that, bro.
Like
you can't rate that. You can't predict that. You can't create that. You know what I'm saying?
An 11-year-old blind kid.
Yeah. Right? And another thing I wanted to bring up, because a lot of people bring up industry plants in the industry. Let go that title, because every artist you see come out today is the standard of an industry plant. An industry plant was before. There was unorganic artists and organic artists. Everything that's been being filtered out is unorganic because the label found a way to get their hand in the streaming service, which is a mistake. Because you remember, you had a lot of independent labels like Tech Nine and all them guys. Remember that? You ain't got that stuff no more. Nah. You notice that you ain't got them independent labels no more because they found a way to put their hand in it. So when people talk about, yo, this guy's an industry plant, that guy's an industry plant, listen, they all industry plants.
It's the same thing we talk about grassroots businesses and businesses that aren't grassroots. Fact is, majority of the biggest cities that you go to, they're not grassroots. It's because that's just not the way that it works when you get in certain territory.
Like, people trying to stay what they was, but they was getting blown up by the competition.
Yeah.
So you can't beat them, join them. That's what it is. So
and and they set it up that way. It's like you got to come to me, or it's not gonna work. It's the same thing that we see. We see the same thing with sports, where they were telling you, well, the only way to go pro is through college. So what college? Notice how the NBA won't talk about Big Three.
The one that done.
Ice Cube was saying the NBA refuses to mention Big Three, and the reason why is exactly they don't want people to believe that there's any other avenues to get where they're going. Besides, there's no other professional league. We're the only one.
And remember, I don't know if you remember this. Remember, LeVar Ball tried to do that. He tried to do a thing. He tried to start a league where instead of players going to college, they'll join his league and get paid. Because they trying to filter in with
squash that real quick.
The college players, but they trying to make it where college players get paid now. They trying to change it.
NIL,
But you know about that, right?
I wish I got it. Hold on.
You mean? So, but before that, LeVar Ball was like, listen, because he got 3 boys.
Yeah.
He like, listen, one of my boys went to what school you went to? What's that?
UCLA.
UCLA.
Lonzo with the UCLA.
Yep. And he seen how much like clout he was getting. He was like, listen, he honestly said it. He said, I believe my son would have made more money in college than he would his rookie year in the NBA if they didn't have that rule. That's crazy because you remember how much talk he had, how much hype he had.
What?
Shoes came out.
The amount of money he would have had would have been crazy.
Yeah, so it makes sense. He was like, listen, when he got that NBA contract, they lowball my son. He was like, he was supposed to get way more than that rookie contract they gave him. But you know what? He said that's why they did that league. They shut it down. They had their hand in the situations, splitting the whole situation up. But like he was trying to tell people, like, listen, if y'all want to do the one and done, that's why he sent Melo over Australia and all that. He had him playing over there. He was like, listen, y'all ain't about to, my son will be making money for his game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that being said, is like the NBA tried to really seal that situation because what he was trying to do is like, listen, you got to get paid off your likeness. And the reason why they did that, a lot of people don't want to admit it, and I know you don't want to hear this, it's because of LeBron James. Listen.
Hey, I don't hate on LeBron James. I don't hate on LeBron James. He's trying he putting out a narrative that is not true.
He's the GOAT, bro. We just got
I respect everything. I love everything LeBron be doing and everything like that. But I just don't think.
Listen, a lot of people not gonna think it, but market wise, what he did for his family, what he did off the court, there's not one player in the NBA history that has a spick it clean record as much as this man, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Someone with his level of prestige and exposure,
top 5 athlete in the world.
That stature and prestige to have a squeaky clean record is impeccable.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like to think about that,
especially and keep in mind how long he's been in that spotlight.
And to be a brother
since he was 14, 15 years old. He's been in the spotlight his entire life. Unproblematic his entire life.
Being a brother.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And they be fishing too.
They always gonna find something more. Yeah.
That's what Eddie Griffin was talking about. He was like, listen, with brothers in the industry, in any industry, what they're gonna want to do in your career is over. They're gonna want to put an asterisk next to it. Well, he was great, but this is what he was doing off. He was great, but this.
You don't got that with LeBron.
But that.
You don't got that with LeBron.
You can't really do that with him.
But that's why they play. That's why they pushing that whole not him being a GOAT narrative because they don't want that to be the standard of a black family.
Exactly.
But back to my point, what I was saying though is when it came to LeBron and everything he was doing, like he realized like you got to venture out. You got to have your school, have your school going. You get what I'm saying? Like focus back on the youth and like. Really put put back to where you came from, like not just taking the money and spending it, putting it back into what is important.
Kingdom building.
Exactly. What's important.
Yeah.
And the fact that we got a celebrity that give that standard, they try to blackball that.
Yeah.
They try to talk down on that. They try to do whatever it takes. Even they try to throw the whole vaccine on Black Lives Matter. Whatever the situation they try to throw at it, They don't want that to be the standard for our community.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They want us to look at Lionel Messi or Ronaldo, even though Ronaldo's my guy. But you know what I'm saying? We need an example, someone we look like to see, like, you know what, if he can do it, we can do it.
Nobody want to talk about him. Pele probably the GOAT, bro.
That's
Pele's
no one like to hear me say
nobody
that
ever
either.
talks about him.
No one like to hear me say that either. Y'all
anybody
talking
don't know about
what
Pele?
about Pele? Like,
Look at this man. Look at this man's record. I'm sorry, Messi,
How many
Ronaldo.
World Cups? Two,
He got more than that. He got more than that.
Like 2 or 3, right?
Dude's a beast.
Yeah, like come on, bro. One generational talent, man.
Comment in the chat. Tell us about our show this weekend. Tell us about that show, ZELUZ. Because what you in town for?
Yeah.
Tell us about what you in
this
town for.
This weekend it's in Tampa at Pegasus Lounge. It's with an independent label that I've been rocking with for about 3 years now. It's called Famic Music. Famic, spelling that with a P. It's PHFAMICK. You get what I'm saying? Famic Music. They've been nothing but genuine, like open arms, like I'm talking. Shout out to Ski. That's the that's the manager of the label. Yeah. Like this guy really embraced me and the people I rock with and the things that I believe. And when it came to like these shows and the things of this nature, he was like, "Yo, we traveling. I need you all here to get a youth message and whatnot." Like so shout out to Famic Music for real for this opportunity and for y'all to even bringing me out here to like even do this show. It's on Sunday, which is the 23rd of this month. Doors open at 9:30. Get y'all tickets. Right now, I don't have no physical tickets with me, but I will have them with me tomorrow morning because that's when Ski get in town. Yeah. So I will have physical tickets with me if you're in the Tampa area and you want to come to the show. I have them with me, but I also have the website. You can follow me at Overzealous, OVERZELUZ. That's my Instagram. You can hit me up on there. That's OVERZELUZ. Hit me up on there. I will send you the link for the ticket sales. If y'all want to drop the link in or whatever the situation might be, and y'all want to come to the show, it's gonna be supportive. It's gonna be and the show is about unity. It's about bringing people from all walks of life. Like I'm coming from Philadelphia myself. The label coming from Philadelphia. You mean? And they got different artists from Tampa, and they just want to tell their story in a different way. You know, like the youth, how they want to express themselves, or whatever the situation might be. Just pop out. If you're a vendor, if you're a video guy, if you're a photographer, whatever the situation might be, pop out, come and support, and we're gonna support you. We're gonna share your page. We're gonna share your content. It's building. For sure. It's building. That's what it's about. And it's about traveling city to city to help each other grow because they not going to help us. So let's not hate on each other. Let's not bring each other down. Let's not kill each other. Let's not do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let us bring each other up so we the top dogs. Let us let's worry about all that beef later on. Yeah. Let's worry about building now in a position where we ain't got to worry about nothing else but being great. You feel me? Exactly. For sure. Now I didn't know if what position your pops is in, whether or not you want to comment on that question that we got. Which one? But do we got time to why is it easier for young people to reach a certain level in financial status, but after a short period of time they lose it? So my pop right now, I called him earlier. He told me he had a class. Okay. So I can't call him right now. You know what I'm saying? No problem. We could definitely get this done. We gonna have to match that up. Yeah, we could definitely get it done. For sure. He let me know because, like, you know, the Sabbath coming in. Yeah, so we got a class you got to prepare for and all that. Absolutely. Yeah, man, he could definitely answer that. But yeah, but the thing, it's a fire question. People who are watchers, what do you think the reason is that young people find success so easily, but also lose it just as quickly as they got it? Answer that question for us in the chat. Is that false? If some of y'all think that that's wrong, am I wrong for saying that it's more difficult? It was easier for the older generations to acquire wealth than it is for our generation to acquire wealth, because money and wealth aren't the same thing. So if you guys think that I'm wrong, if you don't think that that's a correct assessment, tell us why, right? But as of what BEMP Corporation has going on, we have a magazine that is going to be dropping on October 13, Black Magazine, everyone, the collector's edition, right? This prepping for everything. Make sure you visit Harlem Nights Extravaganza. Oh, that's hard. Yeah, you know, hey, guess who did that? The producer. You know what's up. That's hard. Yeah. That's exactly what we're doing. The BEMP Corporation's Black
magazine. Black stands for Black Leaders and Consumer Knowledge Magazine, Collector's Edition.
What?
Go to HarlemNightsExtravaganza.com and reserve your copy. Pre-order your copy today, and it'll be ready for you by the time we have our Harlem Nights Extravaganza event, guys. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be in Tampa. Everything's going to be fire. Make sure that you go and get your Collector's Edition magazine. It's going to feature Janelle, artist. It's going to feature FELTON pilot, artist, and the legend herself, Tori Showing Up Nelson, 13-time boxing champion and Hall of Famer. So make sure that y'all show up, show out for the fam. Go to HarlemNightsExtravaganza.com and pre-order your copy today. Mm-hmm. Now, how y'all felt about tonight's episode? First, live in studio, bro. Yes, sir. Bro, yes, sir. And we do have some things coming up, too. We
try to do this for y'all for years.
Yes.
Just so you know, it's been a years of working. Like, I drove, 17 hours, you know what I'm saying, to get here. Yeah. And, like, just so it's going to be more episodes coming. We got a lot of big things in the works for y'all. Just so you know, through the years.
Hey, we got something coming. Y'all going to be excited for it. I'm telling you, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. We got let's just say you're gonna see more like this.
Many more conversations
in the future. I'm telling you, more conversations that you guys want to hear, getting down to the nitty-gritty of our generation, the next generation, and the previous generation. We're gonna have it all. We're gonna have guests on the show to talk about their opinions and their experiences in certain scenarios. We're gonna have people from our generation. Yeah. We're gonna have younger people come on. Listen, we're gonna have everybody all over the spectrum to talk about the issues, talk about positivity, not even just issues, the things that are going right, that we're doing right in our community.
We're strictly here for our people, and like the youth is welcome. You know, like we feel like outcasts, we feel like we don't fit in, so we try to deal with things outside of our families and inside of our foundation to try to feel some type of relevancy and acceptance. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's just we wait. They're just waiting for us to be ready. Exactly. That's just what it is. And I want to tell y'all that. Like, that's why I make the music I do. That's why I speak to y'all the way I do and understand. Like, we all in this together. It's nothing y'all went through that we ain't go through. Exactly. There's nothing you can't talk to us about that we ain't talking about.
I'm telling you, a lot of times I'm sorry, but your peers, they're dumb. They're going through the same thing you're going through. Fact. And it's not that they might not be intelligent or they might not be smart, but there's no wisdom there. They've never experienced anything. This is something that we talked about before, where it's like you go through things to turn knowledge to wisdom, right? Even, wisdom is when knowledge is applied, right? So that takes time.
Even when it came to love and money, we was talking about, man. That people misconstrue. They say that money is the root of all evil. No, they got to read that scripture again and say the love of money. The love of money. It's because of what it makes you do, what you will do for, who you will turn on.
If you love somebody, what would you do for them?
Exactly.
So if you love money, what you willing to do for it?
Exactly. So it's like it's all about the love you have for money. That means
what is it to you? Like, to some people, just want money for the reason of for the purpose of having it. Just to have it. And
they got it.
That's where danger is, bro. Because now it's like you're holding on to something that doesn't even really have value. All money is a representation of substance, right? Yeah. What a substance, something that it actually has value is worth.
Yeah, resource.
Right? It's a resource.
And you're telling yourself, like, listen, I got this, I can do whatever I want. You think the bad thoughts are coming with that?
Exactly.
I can do whatever I want. Good old day. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro. It opens, and that's where offense and defense comes in. When you have money, it opens up a world of opportunity on both sides. Yep. All the things that you can do on the bad side, all the things you can do on the good side. Everything that you can do on offense, everything that you can do on defense. Yep. Right? Yep. Listen, you can choose what you want to invest in. Right? That's the danger. Listen, this is the kind of stuff we're going to be getting into. I'm telling you, we're going to be coming from the scriptures. We're going to have the books open. We're just going to chop it up, bro.
This is the intro, the intro, man. This is our first time meeting each other, you know? So, like, like I said, we've been locked in for years. Yeah. We've been talking about getting together and do this. And we just wanted to have that presentation. And finally had that interview, especially before the show. Make sure y'all pop out July 23rd.
Y'all know
it's open at 9:30. I'm telling you,
it's gonna go crazy. I'm telling you. Hey, listen, go make sure you follow him on all social media platforms. Give him to him. Give him to him for the one time.
It's ZELUZ. It's OVERZELUZ.
And make sure y'all pop out to the Pegasus Lounge, right out there in Loops. If you're in the Tampa area, it's real close. Pop out, support. Make sure that you're there. It's gonna be a good event. I know I'm gonna be there. about to go crazy. About to turn up. You know, it's about to turn up. You know, hey, listen, man. It's so awesome. If our first live in studio interview, it's just the beginning. I'm telling y'all, it's about to go crazy. It's about to go crazy. Thank y'all for popping out to support. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Y'all see all our social media platforms right above my head. Make sure you go there, give them a follow, give them a search. Make sure that you go to Harlem Nights Extravaganza.com and pre-order your Bimp Corporation Black Collector's Edition magazine. Okay, make sure
I might be on there one day. You never know.
Hey. Sneak peek.
You never know.
You don't know. You never know. You never know. Hey, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Those who have been there from the beginning to the end. Remember, like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. And thank you for joining us for episode 2 of the already historic Bimp on the Spot.
To Wahaya by Shooting Shot.
Y'all know what's up. Shalom. Shabbat shalom. It's Sabbath now.
Might as well, right?
Let's get it.
About to be.
Let's get it.
Hey, feast up, man.
For sure.
Get ready for yourself. Yo, appreciate you.
Y'all know what's up. For
Thank
sure.
you, bro.
For sure. Absolutely.
Thank you for having me, man.
Y'all have a blessed night.
For real.
You know, you always